Huh? Fuck. Oh. Sorry, guys. Excuse me. I hit the bottle pretty hard last night after that loss. Guys, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, okay? The Dallas Mavericks might get swept. Just calling it like it is. All right, just calling it like it is. I think in the back of all of our minds, we kind of realized this could be a possibility going into the series, but truthfully, at this, what's that? Why is that music playing right now? What's going? No, turn the music off. Get me out of here. This is not some hype up video. I'm being dead serious. No, this isn't some hype up. Turn the music off. Sorry, guys. I'm a little bit on edge. As you could tell, I'm a little bit on edge. Why am I on edge? Guys, listen. If you haven't deleted the Twitter app off your phone yet, you need to do it. You need to do it right now, okay? See, me personally, I can't do it because I'm addicted to the app. It is a bad trait of mine. I can't leave that app alone. But if you have any self-control whatsoever, you need to delete the app as soon as possible. Because some of the takes coming out on there, I just can't believe it. I just have to talk about some of them. All right, let's start with Jalen Brunson, who last week was a hero. Right now, he's a zero. Jalen Brunson has been not good in the first couple games of this series, and because of that, everybody is getting their Jalen Brunson takes off. We shouldn't sign him at all. I mean, it's gone from, okay, his contract value is probably decreasing to let's just not even sign him. Let's sign and trade him. Let's just let him walk if the situation comes about. And listen, I still want to keep Jalen Brunson. I'll explain why I really want to keep him here in a second. But for me, there always has been a limit, right? I would only feel comfortable paying him a certain amount. I don't know what that amount is exactly just yet. But as long as it's less than that, as long as it's right around the $20 million mark, I'm 100% cool with paying Jalen Brunson. I think they should pay Jalen Brunson. You look around the league, and that is the going rate for guys like this, okay? It's not second star money. I need people to understand that. Look around at every other team still left in the postseason. You'll notice that the number 2 player on the team, the second star, these are guys who are worth $25+ million. Jaren Jackson's getting that for the Grizzlies when his new contract kicks in. You look at the Warriors with Clay and Draymond, obviously. Wiggins even, I guess, if you want to count him. The Suns, Devin Booker, Chris Paul. Ayton's going to get that much. Mikel's making around that much. And then you have the Heat, obviously Jimmy Butler. You get my drift, right? The guys, the number 2 options on teams are making far more than what Jalen Brunson will be making at around $20 million. So I'm okay with paying Jalen Brunson that amount. Now, if you want to get upset at the roster construction, that other guys are making a lot of money, so therefore paying Jalen Brunson doesn't make much sense because it kind of ruins our flexibility. That's a different conversation, okay? But I still want to keep Jalen Brunson regardless of what we're seeing in this series, because how are you replacing him? Do you have a plan? You realize that he is one of 3 guys who can dribble on this basketball team, and one of the guys is on a smoothie diet in the middle of the fucking postseason and is shitting his pants all the time. You realize that? What is the replacement plan for Jalen Brunson if we get rid of him? Because it will be ugly. It will be ugly. If you want to say, hey, sign and trade Brunson for a good center, okay. You know, I can maybe see that. But again, who are you bringing in to dribble the basketball? Who? That's kind of where I'm at. And Brunson is a good player. All right? Yes, he's having difficulties in this series. But dude, the Suns are a very good basketball team. 1. And 2, more than anything else, the thing pissing me off with Brunson is the foul trouble. It's throwing everything out of rhythm. It's throwing Brunson himself out of a rhythm. Brunson can't keep leaving these games halfway through the first quarter because he's in foul trouble, and now he has to play either not play at all the rest of the first half or play some weird, like, non-aggressive style because he doesn't want to pick up another foul. Okay, that's what Jalen Brunson needs to fix more than anything else. But I'm not ready to give up on Jalen Brunson. My thoughts on paying Jalen Brunson have not changed over these first 2 games, all right? Now, if the next 2 games are also a disaster, maybe that will be different. I'm just going to be real with you. So you're getting all the Jalen Brunson takes after 2 bad games from him. But on the other side of the spectrum, you're getting people who are still echoing the same talking point from Luka, that Luka's not involving Jalen Brunson or Spencer Dinwiddie enough in the offense. Are you watching? Like, I'm going to be real with you. People who are echoing this, I have to ask you one question. Did you play a contact sport growing up? Because if so, you might have suffered some brain damage. And you should probably talk to a doctor before it gets out of hand, all right? Because I just don't understand how people still have this, especially with Spencer Dinwiddie. Are you watching the games? God bless Spencer Dinwiddie, man. It was really cool when he first came over, but my God, it's been a disaster. It's been a disaster. Luka offensively has been great. Defensively, yes, it's been bad. I mean, the Suns targeted him, 50 times last night? And they scored 1.7 points per possession on those. That is an insane number. And Chris Paul was just going to work on him. To be fair, when Chris Paul gets in a zone like that, he's going to go to work on anybody. It just is what it is. But Luka needs to improve his conditioning. And from a physical standpoint, he needs to improve. That's just the reality. I know some Luka stands don't want to hear that because the common talking point is, oh, well, Luka has to do everything on offense, so you can't expect him to do much on defense. That is true, but that's just the reality. And if he is who he is, if he's going to be this generational all-time great, which I think he's very capable of, then he's going to have to at least put forth an effort on both ends. He can't be getting blown by that easily defensively in a postseason game. He just absolutely cannot, no matter what, no matter how much he touches the ball offensively, all right? If the Mavs want to win a championship, that's just the reality. So he's going to have to work on that. I don't see much changing between now and game 3. So I don't know if we're going to see that much of a change between now and game 3. I think Kid's going to have to, Kid and Sweeney are going to have to do something defensively differently than just letting Luka get put on an island against Chris Paul every single possession because he's going to get cooked. That's just the reality. He is going to get cooked in those possessions. So hopefully, we see something different from the coaching side in game 3. But, next season, Luka really needs to pick up his stamina, his physicality. All of this stuff needs to improve a little bit for Luka. And I think it will. I'm not too worried about that. You have to keep in mind, man, this is a 4th-year player who's 23 years old. I tweeted this out yesterday. You guys want to sit here and compare Luka to all these other young players and say this young player is better than Luka? Luka just dropped 35 points nearly 60% shooting. Yes, I know he gave up a lot of points defensively, but this dude is doing literally everything offensively against one of the best defenses in the NBA, against one of the best Luka stoppers in the NBA, and he's just dominating games offensively, averaging, he's averaging 40 points through the first 2 games, and he's getting dragged up and down Twitter after a game like last night. You really want me to sit here and compare him to Devin Booker or Ja Morant? I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. I'm just not. If you think Ja Morant, or if you think Devin Booker is really in the same tier as Luka Doncic, the Phoenix Sun has fried your brain. It has absolutely fried your brain. Scientists should study your brain for future generations, all right? Because that shit is just crazy. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I think really the biggest flaw for Luka, you want me to be honest with you? He's too good. The Mavs should have had a tiny little rebuilding period where they went and got other young players in the draft, high in the lottery, to pair alongside Luka. But unfortunately, we couldn't do that because he was too good. If the Mavs were at the bottom of the league for an entire decade pretty much, then I'm sure the roster around Luka would be much better. But unfortunately, that's not the case. And, the front office has completely and totally failed at certain attempts to put young talent alongside Luka. But still, in talking about Luka defensively, the biggest takeaway, for me at least, obviously, yes, Luka needs to improve on that end, and he has this year. That's why I'm not too freaked out about it. It was a bad game for him. I think a lot of that, again, is conditioning more than anything else. He has to be in a certain shape where, he can exert effort on both ends the entire game. That's just how playoffs have to be. All right, I know it's a difficult ask, but that's just the reality. But above all else, more than anything else, the complete and total lack of a center is really apparent in the series. It really is, and it's time for the front office to grow up in the offseason and go out and get a center. If the Mavs in the offseason, this upcoming offseason, whenever it is, right? It'll be after June, right? Mid-June, when the Mavs are going on a parade in downtown Dallas. Fuck. If they leave this upcoming offseason without a good center, I'm talking about a quality center. I'm not talking about a Moses Brown or Willie Cauley-Stein or some, developmental pick in the draft. I'm talking about a legitimately good center, then it was a failure of an offseason regardless of what else happens. That's just the reality. You cannot come into the season next year with the same center rotation and expect anything to change. You just cannot. All right, these really good teams, they will pick it apart. They will completely and totally demolish it. You can get away with it against the Jazz, but at some point, if you want to make a deep run, you're going to go up against the Suns. You're going to go up against the Warriors. You would go up against the Grizzlies, who would take advantage of that, who would absolutely kill you on that. Look at how Ja Morant's playing against this Warriors small ball. He's just torching it. What do you think he would do to the Mavs? But there still is hope. There really is. You're down 0-2. You lost the first 2 on the road. Okay, the Suns took care of business. They did their job. You come out game 3 and get a win. Everything changes, right? We're feeling this is the highs and the lows of the playoffs. And the Mavs win game 3 at home. We're feeling good again. We're feeling really good. Oh my God, win game 4 on Sunday. All of a sudden, anything could happen. Anything can happen. So we'll see, right? The first 2 games, they're not very promising. The outlook of this series isn't very promising. But bring the music back in. Play it again the more I talk. I didn't hear no fucking bell. I'm ready to keep being delusional and support this team no matter what. Let's go out there, game 3. Let's get a win. And let's try our best. That's all we could do anyway at the end of the day is just try our best, right? In this world, this fucked up world. Just do whatever we can, huh? Go Mavs.